Another terrible moment that was in the docuseries was when Tyra was screaming at Tiffany. I think for me as a psychologist, the reason it was so affecting to me is the way they portrayed it on the show was that Tiffany was having some issues with emotional regulation, so they required her to go to anger management. So Tiffany goes to anger management, and actually the way she showed up after her anger management work, she was actually very regulated. And I think this is what I was seething at the television at that point. Tiffany was regulated, which is not easy to learn if you've had a difficult backstory.
Absolutely.
So Tiffany not only learned to be regulated, when Tiffany was regulated, she was attacked. So
Absolutely.
That moment showed me, oh my gosh, these people have been put, especially the models, have been put into an impossible double bind. That nothing, no matter what you do, if Tiffany acted out, she was going to get screamed at.
Yep.
If Tiffany was regulated, she was going to get screamed at. And I think what was so distressing to me was that the revisionist narrative that Tyra was putting forth is, I see myself in her. I love her. That's why I'm screaming at her. I'm screaming at you because I think you're my favorite. But no, actually, they're your scapegoat.
So I was there in the room for that full rant. And I say the full rant because, and I do want to give Tiffany, just her props, because she's out there in the press. She's trying to communicate that there was a lot more said in the room. And I'm here to support her and saying there absolutely was a lot more said in the room. What was actually said to Tiffany, Dr. Ramani, I think I know you've probably heard a lot, but I think it would just break your heart to hear what she actually said to that girl. And I will never forget what she actually said in that room, because it kind of terrorized me, because in that moment, I remember thinking, oh my God, if she could say that to her on camera, I can only imagine what would come to me one day. And I will say this is the part that is not out there. Once the episode was locked by the network, the Avid Bays were purged of the footage, the actual camera discs were destroyed, and the reason no one will ever find that raw footage of that room does not exist anywhere. And the only people who can speak to it were the people sitting in that room.
Why so much silence around this still after all this time?
Join the Dr. Ramani Network today.